Hello and welcome to a brand new project of passion and desperation and boredom. This is Objectively Correct. Title is kind of in development. I am your host, Scott Castle Larson, and with me today I have my friend Gerborius. We are really just some guys, and we felt like starting something special, I guess you could say. So, say hello, Gabe. Hello.
Hi, it's me. It's Gabe.
So we'll go into a little bit about who we are and what we do and what we like and what we don't like, and then we're going to kind of transform things. Mainly, this is going to be about media and pop culture. The main topics that will come up today are the PlayStation 5, what we are currently playing, and games we're looking forward to, and a bunch of other stuff, because who knows what will come up, because him and I can talk for hours. So first up, we're going to have Gabe introduce himself, I guess. Full on. What do you do for a living if you do that? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, like, what are you all about, and what do you hope to accomplish here, I guess?
Yeah, okay, so hi, I'm Gabe. I sometimes go by Gerborius on the internet, though not as much nowadays. But I guess what I can say is I'm a student, even though right now it's an in-between where I don't have any school. So I just kind of chill out. Right. I like things.
That was something, too, I wanted to talk about. Is just like coronavirus obviously is a big topic right now. And we don't have to go into it. I know it's all people seem to talk about sometimes. But yeah, I totally... I mean, granted, you're done with school, at least for now, until transferring over to wherever. And so I'm not in school. But yeah. So I guess I have a couple questions for you.
Oh boy.
They're not scary, I promise. So the first question basically is along the lines of, what do you think of the word objectively? Or objective?
The word objective?
Yeah.
I have a very intimate relationship with the word objective.
Yeah.
It's probably annoying to those around me, but I quite tend to harp on how things can be objective. So I'd say I have a very good relationship with it, and I use it a lot in places where it should be used.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm certainly that way with a lot of words. Like, literally and ironically, I have to use correctly, or else I'll be like the other guy, I'm no better than them, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then, unless you want to say something else about that.
I'm good.
The other question is, and this is really spicy, what is the best Star Wars movie?
The best Star Wars movie? My favorite is the original. I like New Hope a lot.
Oh, that's a fair answer.
It's one of those. It's just a comfortable movie.
Oh,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just really good in all it does.
Yeah, and you could make the argument it's a perfect movie. It does exactly what it wanted to do, mostly. And
it makes me
debating if it was saved in editing or not, but whatever.
Yeah. It makes me think of Back to the Future, where it's like a film where I'm like, you know what?
It's just solid.
Yeah, this is just good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's great. It's not over the top crazy. You could. Well, actually, never mind. You could write. I mean, people have written thousands of essays about the original Star Wars, but it's like the movie you pick apart in film class to just discuss plot. But I don't know. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
And then I don't have any other questions unless you have some for me. We can get into our next topic, which is me, because it's all about me. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can just answer the questions you pose to me.
Okay. Let's see. So, objective, I believe. Well, so I don't. Okay, we're getting philosophical here. This could just
choose your words carefully here, Scott.
This could be a philosophy cast at the end of the day, but basically, I do not believe that 100% certainty is possible, absolute certainty. But I do believe we can determine that things are demonstrable versus not demonstrable, and so it's really hard to come up with something that's truly objective, in my opinion. However, I can certainly agree that there are things that people tend to agree on. So, the sky is blue. That is what people would consider an objective fact. I assume you would agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep going.
But then, people say I think this Halo 3 is better than Halo 2, and that's objectively correct. I already said the name of the show 5 minutes in. Congrats. But I would say no. I don't think that's objective. However, there of course are going to be people that are going to argue like, oh well, actually, Halo 3 has a longer campaign, more music, blah blah. More is better usually when like comparing different media, right? Like, oh, this movie or this game has more of this, so it's better. And so I think that's a conversation that's completely different than, hey, the Earth is flat or it's not. That's my purpose of being here. Is I really think, especially with, we'll talk about this later, but especially with the way that I feel gaming and media discourse goes down, I feel like it always comes down to two sides, right? And I just don't know if that's the right approach. I think people need to be more open to stories and decisions that are made by the creators or whatever. So basically what I'm saying is, if you don't like the show, suck it up. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of went off there, but I really want this show to open. Yeah. I want this show to kind of open the avenue to having discussion about things and not necessarily saying I'm right and you're wrong. That was a huge tangent, but that's what I think about the word objective.
I have a small tangent.
Yes, go ahead. Of course.
Okay, I came up with this. You said the title we came up with title pending. And what we do a lot is we argue over semantics.
That is true.
So, the Semanti-Cast.
Oh my gosh.
Title
that is
possible
amazing.
title.
We'll
think
put it
about
in
it.
Hat. We'll put a pin in it, right?
Well, we'll put a pin in it. I just wanted to get it out there in print before I forgot.
Something like that. Okay, there, it's now in print.
Yeah. Okay. So now, best Star Wars movie. Favorite Star Wars.
My favorite Star Wars movie is... No, it's no secret.
It's Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, obviously, Attack of the Clones is the best one because it has Natalie Portman in like 3,000 different dresses, and Jimmy Schmitz is in it.
Anakin sit in a field and stare at each other.
And Obi-Wan goes on a wild goose chase. That's awesome. And Jango Fett dies. No, obviously. Okay, see, there I go. I think that The Empire Strikes Back is the perfect sequel in about every way. And that's not to say the first one's bad, because I think we both agree it's not. I just think The Empire Strikes Back really took this blockbuster and turned it into a philosophical masterpiece that also hasn't been topped. But yeah, that's Star Wars for you. This isn't... we could have episodes dedicated to Star Wars. Dude, probably.
Just wait, we're gonna have the Star Wars episode. We're gonna have... You talked about how discourse is usually two sides. I can tell your mind was thinking of Death Stranding.
Really? No, I was actually thinking of The Last of Us Part 2. But Death Stranding would apply
I was thinking
because
you were letting the creator do what they want to do, and
No, I appreciate that perspective, because you are right. I also think that about the game too, in some ways.
I mean, we just talked about it recently.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Recently getting into it, so I was just oh,
related to Star Wars, I think even The Last Jedi could be part of that. Part of that discussion. And in fact, even the prequels, George Lucas, it was his creation. It was a pretty interesting creation, to say the least. Because how dare you say the prequels are bad in 2020?
I mean, they are.
Are they? Are they objectively bad?
Yes.
So, if you're not already along for the ride, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else would keep you here. But and then I think I have to answer who I am and what I do.
Oh yeah. You said the next topic was yourself.
Yeah. Oh, me. Yeah. So
sell yourself,
depending
boy.
on where this goes and where it's put on the internet. Yeah. Hi, I'm Castle. I'm that person that has 200 subscribers, and you're like, oh, it's him, and then you click on the video and you're like, oh, okay. Or this is put in, you're watching this in the future, and I'm the richest man on the planet, and Gabe is the richest non-binary person on the planet. I don't know.
Okay.
You're a man. I know that, I think, right? You identify as male, at least right now. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. But yeah.
No, it's all good.
In that case, yeah, you know who I am. Tony
Life
Stark
changes.
Life will change, indeed.
Life will change, all right.
But yeah, I don't know. I play
Better wake
games. I started my old YouTube channel playing Halo because it's awesome. I was playing Halo today. That's how much I love it. And I just like games. I like movies. In fact, I think I like them a little too much. That's why we've started this show. It's a good place to talk. And of course, you know, maybe long down the line we'll have community that will talk of you know, semantics with each other, and also just be respectful, because I think that's something we can both agree on. Is even, I don't know, I don't think there's really ever been a time where I'm like genuinely been mad at you, and so like
at me, yeah.
Like there are like even like my actual friends, there are times where I'm like, what are you doing? But like I don't think I've ever really had that with you, to be honest.
Yeah.
Except for your endgame takes. I mean, what?
Oh,
we're opening that. I don't know.
Oh, dude, when is the endgame episode?
Dude, we will have an endgame episode. Okay?
Is this going down?
Oh boy, we're just gonna have a Last Jedi episode. No, okay, let's not.
We're just gonna have like
a
an
Star
arc.
Wars.
We're gonna have an arc where we're gonna have like 3 episodes in a row just talking about Marvel movies.
We could talk about each.
Like,
oh yeah, we could talk about like the different phases. In each. And we can talk about the different Star Wars trilogies in 3. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, like, though, yeah, I think I can agree with that. Like, one thing I hope does somehow come out of this is, like, if we can, you know, foster a little group of people, no matter how big or small, that are just like, I just want to talk about cool stuff.
Yeah, because that's really what we wanted to do. So, yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
I think...
Discord server in the description.
Hell yeah. I almost said that. I was like, yeah, well, you know.
Oh, dude.
But again, there already would be a Discord server if you're watching this and you're new, because you're watching this in 2027 and you're like, oh yeah. Anyways,
if you're doing what I do, and go to the beginning of a podcast.
Okay, genuine question here. This just came out of my mind, but I watch my own content like all the time. Like, I don't know why, but it's just really pleasing to me. And I'm wondering if you've ever felt that way about your own content.
It depends on, like, the time period of the content. Like, my early stuff, like, pre-first quit, I'm like, this is some good stuff. I'm, like, really enjoying myself. This is good. Basically, anything beyond that, I'm more like, Because that's when I was, like, forcing it and was, like, doing it more just to do it instead of
but hey,
enjoying myself. But
you beat Mike Tyson, and that's all that matters.
I cheated though. I cheated the game. You gotta do it
on a real NES with the real CRT.
I have the CRT.
I have an NES and a CRT. I don't have Punch Out. That game's especially Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That game's wait a second. Yeah, the one on the NES Classic is Mr. Dream though, right? It's not the okay.
They can't do the.
It's just called Punch Out then?
It's just called Punch Out.
Okay, because I know the original was called Punch Out.
You can get it for $42 of Mike Tyson's.
Okay, that's not bad. I don't know. I'd have to clean my NES though, but that's whatever.
And you can get the original, just like the non-Mike Tyson, for $27.
Okay. I know like the most common one for emulators is the Mr. Dream one, because like that's the most accessible ROM or something, but So, the other topic of discussion, we talked about best Star Wars movie, because we all know that's the only thing that matters. But the other topic of discussion that I want to bring up, because I think this is very important, especially since this is going to be a gaming-ish kind of podcast, maybe.
I'll do it.
I think that we should go over games that we really enjoy, particularly ones we've already played. We can talk about games we're currently playing maybe a little later. And games we're looking forward to, stuff like that. But I think just kind of laying a groundwork, right, of like what do we look for in a video game, whatever that may be, art or not. But yeah, I think I know I asked if you had a list or anything like that, but if you have a top 5 or whatever.
So you want to do like a top 5 or like a top 3? Do you want to like alternate?
Ooh. Okay. You could break it down. I think
we have a lot to cover.
Just do top 3.
You want to alternate between? So like,
sure, yeah. Yeah.
You can start with your like third favorite.
So again, this is always constantly changing, and this is just like anything else. Where my opinion could change tomorrow, it could change right now, it could change never. And so that's why it's really hard sometimes to do lists, especially because it's not definitive. But, my third favorite game on this that I have written down, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Loud noises. I have written down, I have Halo 2. That is a game, and it's great. It's
a
probably
big boy game.
It's probably my favorite video game sequel that's like a direct sequel to a first game. Does that make sense? Like, it's the second one.
I mean, like,
so.
There's like Final Fantasies where it's like sequels, but not really.
Or like, Call of Duty 4. It's like I wouldn't count that even though it's a sequel, but I'd count Call of Duty 2, which
it's
also
a sequel, but not like a direct sequel.
Yeah.
Okay,
I guess so.
That makes sense.
Well,
I get
the
it.
second one, I guess, is what I'm saying. Since it's the second one ever made, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know. That's a rabbit trail. But yeah, it's I can't quite say it's my favorite first person shooter, even though it's technically on this list my favorite.
And I just think maybe the only first person shooter on the list. Possibly.
Maybe.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either. I mean, you wouldn't. Yeah.
I mean, you would know.
That's true. I have like 50 games written down here.
Oh, jeez.
But we can maybe even do a best games list someday.
We could just do it. We could devote a whole episode to talking about games we like.
We could for sure. But yeah, Halo 2. I just think it's a really good sequel. Again, it kind of did what The Empire Strikes Back did, in my opinion, where it not only did more of what the first one did, but it also added to it. It gave us the Arbiter, one of the more complex and interesting characters in the series. It gave us more insight into who the bad guys, quote unquote, are. The Covenant, just like the Empire Strikes Back, focuses a little bit more on Vader and what he's all about. That's cool to see that side of the war. I also just think the great gameplay is really tight and awesome. I mean, it's Halo. It's probably my favorite first person shooter gameplay.
Dude, so tight. Like
it's great.
Sleeping bag.
Exactly. And plus, I just have really good memories playing it. What else can I say? The music's great. I just, it's hard, right? Because I said this earlier today, but I was playing Halo 3 on PC, Steam, because I got into the flight program to test it. But I was saying, I love both 2 and 3 a lot. And if I was held at gunpoint, I'd probably say Halo 2, but it would be like... It would be like having to pick a favorite child. Yeah, like, it's really difficult. And so in most times I cheat. And when I say what's your favorite Halo game, I'm like, 2 and 3. But yeah, that's what I have as number 3. Halo 2 for the original Xbox, and it's now on mostly anything that you own currently. Probably it's on PC and Xbox One, and it's backwards compatible on Xbox 360, and it's on PC Vista, but don't play that one because it's bad. But yeah.
Yeah,
Halo 2, and I own like 3 different versions of it on physical, but whatever.
Get ready for the boy to cheat 3 times in a row with this.
I had a feeling you'd do this.
Through technicalities, baby. I might not cheat the 3rd time, but on 2 of them, technically it's cheating.
Okay, I'm not opposed to cheating.
Oh no, it's all good because I think it works. I don't consider it cheating because either.
Okay.
It's close enough or like kind of doesn't matter.
Hit us with it and then we'll decide.
No,
is it
number
Dark
3?
Soul? Okay, sorry.
No, it ain't Dark Souls. I haven't beaten it yet.
Same.
Number 3 is good old Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, baby.
Okay, so is that what you mean by cheating? Since that's like
technically it's 4 games, but it started as 1 and it's free expansions.
You're fine.
But like, I think 2 of like the extra expansions are being sold separately, so they are separate games.
Out very recently.
Yeah.
Didn't the last expansion or whatever come out very recently?
Yeah, it came out December, I think.
Oh wow, I'm close.
Yeah, so it was just last year.
Game of the year?
No.
That we could have a whole podcast about that, but whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, but that was like 8 months ago.
Oh, I actually thought.
What even came out last year?
I know, right?
I played.
So when you first played Shovel Knight, what did you play it on? Was it Wii U or 3DS?
It was Wii U.
Same.
It was the first. It was either the first or it was definitely the first like indie game that I realized like 4 people made this.
Yeah, and he's in Smash.
Yeah, boy. My boy's in Smash.
amazing.
And he's in Rivals of Aether.
Oh, that's
the
true.
better game.
I bought that game. We gotta check it out sometime together.
Dude,
Play
Shovel Knight
Obama.
plays crazy in that game.
Yeah.
He has an entire like money subsystem.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I
where
watched.
You have to buy equipment. It's so sick.
Oh, that's crazy. And then Ori's in it. When's Hollow Knight coming to?
Oh my. They're done adding characters, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Like it's been confirmed. Like they're just like.
Are they going to keep supporting the game though? Like, or is it going to be more?
Once the definitive edition is out, they're like, unless it's like number changes, we're done with this game and we're working on new projects. Like,
cool. That's
like,
cool.
We're moving on. So, but I mean, like, you got endless content because of the workshop.
Exactly.
Plays Ronald.
Have they ever
McDonald.
said it might come to console, or is that going to cause issues?
Definitive Edition is coming to Switch, but Workshop is definitely not being lifted. Workshop definitely won't work.
True, yeah, I remember they announced that like a year ago, maybe. Anyways,
yeah, I was like, I might pick it up on Switch, but then I was like, screw it. Like,
well, have a physical limited run games release.
Oh god, not limited run,
dude. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about collections eventually, but I feel really bad for people that are collecting for the Switch because. And the Vita, the Switch and the Vita, because limited run games. Oh my god! Oh, dude, I was on eBay and I'm like, okay, how much was the limited run of Bounty Hunter on or Star Wars Bounty Hunter on PS4? And it was like $300 on eBay, and they did this run like last year. It's gonna be a bitch to collect all that Switch and
that's why I don't bother. Even though it sucks that like Celeste is limited run only.
Oh, that's right.
It's hype though because Shovel Knight is like
Celeste
not
is your
limited
number
run,
2 game,
so we're good. But also like Hollow Knight has just an official like fully released standard and collector's edition separate from like limited run.
Right. Okay.
So you can like I could purchase it right now for like market price.
Gotcha.
On like an official website. So
okay.
I don't have to worry about no stupid limits.
No limits.
Yeah, I don't got a lot to say about Shovel Knight. It's just a really solid game.
I've actually never beaten
it. Super good platformer. Oh, it's so good.
I still have it on Wii U. Do I want to play my Wii U? Sure, but
dude, you can play Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
I can. Let's see what else is on the Wii U.
That's like top 5 best platform.
I need to play that game, but I don't.
That game is so good.
I need to play it. I really, dude. John Cartwright will not shut up about it, so I gotta play it. I got it. Okay, so my number 2.
I like Shovel Knight.
I think maybe, hopefully, sort of, people are already kind of getting a vibe for the types of games we go for. But my number 2, and I really had to think about this because this one always flip flops. Okay, so. Number 2 is a game that still in 2020, and even though we had the fucking PlayStation 5 thing, still I think is a game worth playing. It still is a game worth checking out. And that is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, thank God. For a second, I thought you were going to say something. I was like, I swear to God. If he steals my thunder, then I have to come up with something else.
Uh-oh. Maybe that's my number 1. You never know. Never know.
I doubt it.
No, yeah, not at this point. But yeah, I just think, so when it comes to GTA 5, I mean, when I first played it, it was on the 360. That I still don't understand how the game works on the 360, let alone just like... runs at a solid ability to play it and do things, but in many ways I still think it marks a very high peak in the gaming industry of design, production value. I mean, it's one of those games where you can just see the money that was put into it on the screen. Even the old 360 and PS3 version, which I've been playing the PS3 version because
why?
I own every version of the game.
Why would you choose
because it's
pardon my tongue, objectively worse version?
Here is the facts, if you will, the tea. In a weird way, I almost prefer the way that the PS3 and Xbox 360 version look. There's something about the lighting and the way that the world is like. There's some filter. I don't know the words. I'm not Digital Foundry, but there's just something about it that, like, that's the original version, and so to me, that's GTA 5. Yes, the PS4 version is awesome. Yes, the PC version is somewhat awesome, but it's like, I don't know, man. GTA 5 is
so
what came
let's
out
put
on
it
store
bluntly.
shelves.
Let's put it bluntly, it's nostalgia.
Yeah, I guess so.
It feels like how it was back in the day, and it feels good,
And
which
it's
is totally
crazy
fine.
that it's been 7 years. I was in 8th grade, and I was playing.
Dude, you
Grand
were
Theft
playing
Auto.
murder games in 8th
I
grade? How
was.
dare you?
I know.
No
and
wonder you turned out like you did.
I didn't have headphones either, so I had to play the game on like really low
Audio, so then people couldn't hear.
Because I still think that game has like the world record for the most like swear words in a video game, just like in its script or something like that.
Oh,
it's up there.
I could see that.
It's high up there. Especially the N word, the slang N word.
The word that we won't say because it is bad.
Right. I don't think it's okay. This is the weird part because it's a list of favorites, right? I don't think it's the best game that Rockstar has made, but I certainly think it's very good. Its story is probably its weakest aspect, but at the same time, it's still got the 3 main characters, and that's a gimmick I love. I love how the missions were designed around it, and it really was fresh, and it still is really fresh. Like not very many games, especially AAA games, are like, you know what? Let's have 3 different protagonists with 3 different voice actors that we have to pay individually and motion capture.
Then motion cap and like put stupid balls on them and make them walk around in dinky outfits.
Exactly, and so. To me, it still marks a very high bar for other developers to reach, and you have that for many, Kojima, I guess, just the way that his games are made, and you have Naughty Dog and the way that their games are made. In fact, I guess you could argue Naughty Dog really first was the one to do it, and then Rockstar was like, okay, we'll make Red Dead Redemption, which I could make the argument is their best game, but whatever.
Dude, let's make peeing a mechanic, and then you drink Mountain Dew.
Exactly. I better be able to pee.
It's immersive.
In the next game I play right now. Anyways, I don't know, man. I want really. It's cool. It's coming to PS5, and we'll maybe talk about it. But I want the fucking game on Switch. Like right now, I will buy it. I will buy whatever. I will probably do whatever it takes to have that game on Switch. But yeah. GTA 5. Why did I move here? I guess it was the weather. Yeah.
Man, I sure do get that reference.
Because it's from the trailer.
It's my favorite character. George?
Guy, man, dude.
Guy Fieri.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Okay. He's taking you to Flavortown.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
Dude, take me to Flavortown, please.
Flavortown?
I would.
Speaking of flavor, what is your second game? Or games? Or whatever.
Another technicality. It is
Super Smash Brothers.
No.
Oh.
It is Persona 5 / The Royal.
Okay.
Because,
I
like it a lot.
I do too, and it was a game.
I said technically because I haven't finished The Royal yet. I'm knee deep, like I'm waist deep in the new content. Like I'm full on in that new stuff. And I'm really liking it so far.
Yeah, I'm not as far as you, but I like Royal
a
lot.
The other day you were streaming what was it? Freaking Bank.
Oh, yeah, I was doing the vault the last bit.
Yeah. Freaking Kanashiro. Yeah.
Yeah, him. The guy. I was saving Best Girl, dude.
Purple Boy.
So unfortunately, you had to bring up Persona 5, which means fortunately we get to talk about who Best Girl is and why.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. That is too risky for this show.
I don't know, man. It's hard. Like,
how are you liking Kasumi? Like, genuinely,
I like her a lot. I think she's a really fun character and has some really fun, really fun plot developments.
Oh yeah,
like it's really interesting and fun.
Yeah, I'm glad,
dude. We gotta have for the specific Persona only episode. Where all we talk about Persona, we just got to have like Ian on.
Oh yeah, special guests. But he'll probably have maybe played the rest of 3 and then maybe 4 when it comes to PC. This tomorrow, right?
I'm not gonna pick it up.
You're not
I have the original, and my brain's like, if it's $20, I'll consider it. But I just know it's gonna be 40. I know it's gonna be 40, and then I'm gonna wait. So
yeah.
Besides, I have the original.
I'm not gonna play it because The Last of Us 2 comes out next week. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like it a lot. I do think so far the Royal is a straight like upgrade from the original. Like
There's
there are a
almost
couple
nothing
things
about it that I so far was like, that's not as
there's
good.
like not a lot. There's no additions that I'm like, this is a detriment. Maybe in terms of like, I don't know, maybe in terms of like difficulty a little bit, you can steamroll it. Like if you
for
plan your
sure.
time good and like get your confidence in,
Yeah.
it's like I'm walking into the final, like the
You did
end
Shido's
game
Palace.
dungeon of base game, and
Mhm.
enemies are green, and I can just run through them, and I don't have to fight.
To be fair, when I played the original, I had beaten the Reaper 2 times because of me being a little bitch. So
I've never fought the Reaper.
I was pretty over leveled, but they removed that exploit from the Royal because they don't like fun.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how I went from my initial playthrough of the original on normal and being like, oh god, this is intense, like these are higher level, and then the final boss is super hard, and I have to like use up the only way I could beat it is by using a heal all item in the middle of it, to this one where I play it on hard difficulty, and it's much easier than the original.
It could be easier, but it could also just be the fact that you know how the game works, you know?
I think that's partially it.
Yeah.
I saw some reviews somewhere that's like, if you've played the game before and you're wanting and like you're used to it, then hard is the new normal. Like,
I played the game on what's the lowest difficulty? Because towards the end, I started to get really frustrated. The original, and so I just turned it on to whatever that mode was. Oh, it was because I was in Shido's Palace, and I was tired of enter character puzzles here, and having to die and then go back. Yeah, I was done with that.
That was a fun boss.
So I was like, I'm just gonna put it on safe mode.
We'll learn throughout the times that I am a masochist.
Yeah.
And I like dying a lot.
At that point, I was there for the story. I'll be honest. Yeah. I had gotten tired of the hundreds of hours of gameplay.
Dude, but it's so cool.
It is. Persona 5, I definitely can respect that. Since I beat the original 5, I tried to do some homework. And unfortunately, I don't like 3 and 4 as much due to the way that their dungeons are done, but that's okay.
The thing I don't understand the most is how I looked at Morgana's sprite in the base game and was like, this looks fine.
I know! Morgana's so much more expressive in Royal.
Like, no, not more expressive. He looks so bad in the original. Like his sprite? His head is like oblong and like...
Yeah, he looks like a football.
Let me look it up. It's so weird.
I'll have to put it up on the screen for the audience. But yeah, I really like most of what Royal's done. And I unfortunately decided to buy 3,000 other games since I started playing Royal, and Final Fantasy Remake existed and all that.
Why is
that what he looks like in the original?
That's the original.
Yeah. That looks weird. That definitely looks weird.
Sprite. Yeah, and then in the new one, I'm just like, how did the... Okay, wait, I found a comparison image. I guess they made like the eyes kind of larger in a way, but sort of not. It's weird, but it works better.
He also looks like he's looking at you in the second picture,
telling you to go sleep.
Oh, except he doesn't do that mostly.
I mean, like he does
in Royal, but he does. But you can play darts, so it's okay.
Yeah, but like it's a real good game. The soundtrack is also good.
I own the game on PS3, PS4, and then I own Royal because I hate my life.
That's how it be sometimes.
We'll go into collections one day maybe, but
yeah.
Okay.
Like man, I don't know. We do something once a week.
Yeah.
We sit down, we talk about stuff. We're gonna talk about a lot.
Do I have to say my number 1 now?
Yeah, you gotta say your number 1. Oh. We just can't lose steam. We gotta keep this going.
Speaking of Steam, no, it has nothing to do with
Steam.
Half-Life Alex is my number 1. No,
Team Fortress 2.
So again, it's picking a favorite. Picking a favorite is really hard, and I almost went with Persona 5, but then I thought about all the dumb stuff that was kind of silly, and then I was like, okay, what's a game that I've literally probably played like 600 times that isn't GTA 5? And then I was like, okay, it's Ocarina of Time. But then I'm like, oh, That game's really old and it's not perfect. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's not Ocarina of Time. So what's my favorite? And then I'm like,
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers 3 is the game I
Really?
put as number 1. I think
What?
it is still one of.
This is.
I know, this is real.
What?
I still think it is one of the most intricate and tightly designed games that Nintendo has ever made. It is full of things I still don't know. I probably. It's fun. It's the best game on the NES, except for Star Tropics.
Yo, wait.
It's what else? It's got really good music. It pushed the NES to its limits. It defined a lot of kids' Christmases because of the wizard. I don't know. That's a game that I look at and I'm like, that's Nintendo.
Like, no, yeah, like that game's awesome. That game's excellent.
It is,
but like,
it's not Link's Awakening, but I don't know.
Ooh, yeah.
Link's Awakening's on this list, but
I did not expect that
honestly,
at all.
Neither did I.
Like, I was thinking, like, I'm gonna come up with a meme answer for number 1. I'm gonna come out and be like, dude, it's Kirby Star Allies. And, like,
yeah,
hold something out and then be like, no, it was actually this. But
and that's
the Mad Lad actually did it with his legit answer.
Yeah.
The Mad Lad.
It's certainly one of those that if you haven't played it or haven't played it in a while, it's on the Switch, and you probably have Nintendo Switch Online because you own Smash Brothers. So play it again. Play it with.
Don't play Smash Online.
No. Don't play Smash Online. Play Super Mario Brothers 3.
Soup Nukem.
Yeah, Soup Nukem. It's where he's
Soup Nukem. It's a spin-off.
Yeah,
it's like Chex Quest, but for soup.
Plus, as far as I know, like when it comes to Mario, it's like the first game that has a story that isn't like go save Peach and then what's the second one's they're high on drugs or something? Or no, it's a dream. That's the second one.
It's
right?
a dream.
Okay.
So are you talking about like the cutscenes where you go to the castle and the king is always like a different animal?
That's weird.
Okay.
Like we haven't seen that ever.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Like,
and then
it's an NES game. I accept.
I like the overworld. I like the secrets. I like how it's honestly. I like speedrunning it more than Mario 1. I'm sorry, that's blasphemous, but there's a really good Alfred video where he tries to speedrun Mario 3. It's great. But yeah, it's just like I'm sure there's tons of things I don't know about it, but definitely like check out the gaming historian video on it if you haven't. Or like it's weird, right? Because again, I can see why Gabe was really surprised by this because it's not a game I'm like, oh, I fucking love it. Like it's not like,
oh yeah, no, like you've never talked about it.
Yeah, it's not one that I'm like I put on my pedestal, but
is entirely predictable because it's all I talk about.
All
but
of
like
it's not you like said Persona 5. Yeah.
I mean, like, I've always been super open about it, but like, yeah, like Halo 2 and GTA 5
those are
were
what
two ones that like I was like, wait, he's taken up everything
because
and he won't play Persona 5.
No,
like,
yeah, because when I really think about it, Super Mario Bros. 3 is a video game. Like that's what people think of. I think when they think of a video game, if they're not thinking of like old Atari games,
Call of Duty,
they either think of like
Shoot a Man,
Tetris, which I think is on this list somewhere.
Dude, are we? You want to talk about it? Tetris is the perfect video game.
Yeah,
there is nothing wrong with the video game.
Nothing, literally. And I want to play Tetris Effect.
You can think about it. There is nothing wrong about
except for the Game Boy version because it's not in color, but whatever.
Okay. But you want to play Tetris Attack?
Yeah. No, Tetris Effect.
Tetris
the PS4,
Effect.
And it's on Epic Game Store. I really want to play that game. It just looks cool and emotional,
especially in VR. It could be fun.
Yeah, but yeah, Mario Brothers 3. At least right now, on June 2nd, 2020, it is my favorite video game because I could sit down, play it, and not be annoyed by something. Because if I play GTA 5, I'll be like, ugh, I really don't like this. Or
yeah.
What was number 2? Oh, Halo 2. I can play. What was number 2? With Halo 3, I can.
That was number 3.
I'm like, oh, it's really sad that the game got rushed, and so it didn't have. But yeah, no, Mario 3.
Yeah.
It's not Mario 2, which no, I'm just kidding. But Mario 2 is
Super
also
Mario Brothers 2 best
Mario
game
2
ever made.
is still one of the more unique ones, but yeah.
You're nitpicking and biased. I win. Bye.
But yeah.
Donkey, my lord, my king.
Oh boy.
The dream will be made true. One day we will have Donkey on the podcast.
There you go. And I can
I
tell
love
him how
Donkey. Scott does not like Donkey.
I can tell him how much I just don't understand. Oh, no, you know why? It's because it's fictional, ironic, underlying moronic irony, obviously.
It's fifth layer postmodernist irony.
Exactly, dude. It's Renaissance irony.
Dude, it's too legit and real. I just find it funny because he's just so sarcastic. I don't get why there's that level of irony. It's just sarcasm.
No, yeah. And
he's
I've thought about
his
it.
jokes are just like, I like this mechanic when he's clearly not liking it.
Yeah,
like,
I remember whatever. I don't know. This isn't the Donkey Cast, but I remember his
the Donkey Cast.
His what video was it? It wasn't. Was it his Persona 5 video? Anyways, whatever. I've
the one that got you angry. The one that was like where we talked
VII
about
one.
Donkey. Yeah, that was the one where it was like, Donkey, I hate him. He's stupid. He makes bad arguments and shuts down conversation. And I'm just like, he made a funny joke.
The mayor. The mayor. The mayor. I got to that part. It was funny. Anyways, you're number one. Yeah. I know what it is now because I thought about it.
Dude, Panel upon.
That's your favorite. Your favorite game is Tennis for Two. I can't believe it.
You were talking about. Well, I thought you said Tetris Attack, which is Panel upon, which is on SNES Online.
Gotcha.
Which you should play because it's a hype as hell puzzle game.
I think I tried it.
We could play it sometime.
Remember when Nintendo put out games for the SNES Online and NES Online?
I mean, they just did recently, right? Like a couple weeks ago?
To
be fair, there was a drought of months.
Yeah, there was a virus.
True. I mean, there is a virus.
Would you like to talk about how Nintendo makes good games now? That's a
segue. That's a segue. Hey, I really like Super Mario Galaxy. It's a really good game. It's super good. I do know and accept that Galaxy 2 is the objectively better designed game. In terms, they had better grasp of the mechanics. There's less gimmick stuff, and where there is gimmick stuff, it's more fine tuned. So it's like, I'll defend a good amount of like the motion control gimmick stuff in Galaxy.
Yeah,
like stuff that uses the pointer works perfectly fine.
And like I'm even the type of guy to say, you know what, I like Galaxy 2 better, but it doesn't have Rosalina. So yeah.
But like Mario Galaxy 1 is nostalgic, and it's like in Link's Awakening, where it's one of the few like Nintendo games to hit that like sadness level, and not not like, oh no, a character died, like sadness level, but like that kind of like existential, like man, like what if it is all a dream?
Link's Awakening is actually my number 7 game, which is we can get into that someday. But
it's hard choosing my favorite Zelda game between Link's Awakening and Link Between Worlds.
And I love how Ocarina of Time isn't even on this list. I don't have it on this list because
it's so fluctuating.
It's so weird because like obviously I love that game, and I literally watch streams of people playing speedrunning it for hours a day. And it's not on my top 10, top 50, even though it's like I love that game.
I get it.
But anyways, yeah, I totally agree with you. Like Mario Galaxy,
it's somber.
Like it's
somber.
When did Galaxy come out? 2007.
2007, 2008, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was 2007, and so that was a year after the Wii came out. That's crazy. I mean, that's what Nintendo does. Like they're just like, you know what, we're gonna put out our best
it was
game
2007.
ever right now. They're like,
I got it 2008.
Our new console's out? I guess we'll just, release a 10 out of 10. Like, that's literally what they do. And
yeah, man.
There's not very many gaming companies except for, Bungie, but Destiny exists now, so goddammit.
Where's the Switch 10 out of 10 game? When will it happen, Scott?
Actually, you have a good point.
When will it happen?
You have a good point. GTA 5, when it gets on the Switch. There you go. We figured it out.
Yeah, but it's not a Nintendo game.
No, it's Mario Brothers 3. Booyah.
Dude, Super Mario Brothers 2. Best game.
What if it's Paper Mario and the Origami King?
it's not going to be.
No. But yeah, you have. I mean, it's The Witcher 3, but it's not a Nintendo game. God damn it,
Dude, it's obviously Skyrim.
Oh, obviously. Oh god, I own that. That's like another game that I own like 8,000 copies of, and I think it's on my list. Oh, it's on my list. It's number 12. Anyways,
Samurai Galaxy, real good.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep
no,
going.
yeah, this is real good. Like, I'm a gameplay boy,
and
like,
that's exactly.
I think
what
it's kind of dumb.
Show.
I think it's kind of. It's not. I mean, it's good to know preferences, but I used to do this more, but now I'm more like I'm not gonna write anything off due to balance, because like I like a good amount of visual novels and a good amount of walking simulators and all that. It's more based on how the game accomplishes what it does.
Yeah.
Not base how I feel on it.
For sure.
But like at the end of the day, if I had to shoot one side and save the other, I'm taking gameplay every day. I'm pulling that lever.
I watched what's her name? Aliana Pierce, the gaming journalist. You might know who she is. You might be aware.
I don't.
But she recently released a video on a game.
Yeah.
And she basically like I hear the term like you hear the term gameplay is supposed to be fun, right? Games are supposed to be fun, and she kind of brought up this whole idea of like I don't know if that's 100% necessarily true. And that was just really interesting to think about. But
I think on a base level, like fun isn't the right word, but like engaging is.
Yeah. And that's like, what she started to say was it,
at the base level, if you can't find anything else, most likely like a game's final saving grace is like,
well, at least it's
fun to do this. Like I can do this.
There's a part where you do that. It's fun. Yeah.
Like if it has garbage story and like all this other stuff, it's like, it's kind of fun just to roll around. Like
at the speed of sound. Also, would you
Sonic the Hedgehog?
What is the best Sonic game? Fuck it.
Best Sonic game? Sonic Mania.
Oh,
the easy.
Okay. I mean,
Sonic Mania,
I'm not a Sonic fan,
and then Sonic Generations. Those are my two.
There you go. Okay.
I think those are my two most played through games, because those are games I can sit down and play through the entire game in a sitting.
See, that's me in Mario 3.
Yeah.
I unfortunately am not fast enough to be able to play through GTA 5 in 8 hours, but I probably could if I tried. The speed run, like the any percent or classic percent, which is basically any percent without glitches or skipping, is like 5 hours. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Luigi's Mansion is another good game that I can just play through. I have I just play through it once every year. It's
there you go.
Really
Halloween,
good,
baby. There you go.
Yeah, dude.
And now you got Luigi's Mansion 3.
Now I have like actual horror games to play as well. I can play through Resident Evil 2 again, or I can play through Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 1. Or
you can wait for the remake
Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 4.
I cannot play through Resident Evil 3 remake.
Oh yeah, I remember when you were gonna make a video about that one?
Dude, remember that? And then I lost 10 hours of footage.
That's really sad, and I'm sorry that had to happen to you. But
it's all good. It was my fault. At the end of the day, I should have been more safe with it.
Yeah.
But it's all good. But Mario Galaxy, really well made.
That I will agree.
The soundtrack is also
really good. Or it wasn't Nintendo's first like game with an orchestrated soundtrack.
Oh, definitely not.
Oh.
But it was like the first Mario.
Oh, maybe Twilight Princess could have been.
I think Melee had some orchestrated tracks.
Oh, you're right.
So it definitely like some GameCube games had orchestrated.
Yeah,
things.
true.
But it was the first Mario one.
And then the first Zelda game was Skyward Sword.
Yeah. The reason why it was kind of a big thing is because like Miyamoto was like, I don't know, it might like detract from like the Mario feel, and
he was wrong.
Like with a couple things that God bless the man. God bless the man, but like sometimes he has bad ideas.
He is a boomer. We have to remember this.
Nah, but he made Pikmin, and then I mean that absolves him from all mistakes.
So he hasn't made Pikmin 4 yet. At least yet. He could be making it right now, actually.
I think Pikmin 4 was the 3DS game.
Uh-oh.
I think that's what it was, but because of the response, they just didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than Metroid Prime Hunters, right?
Dude, Federation Force, it was what I meant.
Game. Thank you.
It was a decent
Prime
game.
Hunters
it just came out at the wrong time.
Wait, Prime Hunters was DS. That game was cool.
And Metroid Prime Pinball.
Oh, hell yeah. What was the RTS one on DS?
There was an RTS Metroid game on DS?
Or am I thinking of the Star Fox RTS?
There was Star Fox Command,
Yeah,
which
I think that's what I'm
was
thinking
an
of.
RTS,
Yeah, that
and it was like a fan fiction.
Oh, I mean,
The story was bad.
oh no, oh no.
Like, because it does like the alternate routes thing. So it's
Oh,
just like in one of them, like Fox gets broken up
uh-huh.
with his girlfriend, and then is like drunk and like sobbing at a bar as
Wait,
Falco
really?
consoles him.
Oh
Have you
my
not
God,
seen that
no.
picture?
No,
Okay,
I'm
let
not
me
a
look it
true
up.
gamer. Oh no. To be fair, I didn't really
Fox
dabble
drunk
in a
at-
lot of like the DS games. Like Mario Kart DS, it's all I needed. Oh, by the way, I consider that as number one. Oh, that's an episode I want to do.
Mario Kart.
No, remember that list we made of like the definitive Nintendo games?
Oh yeah,
That could be fun to discuss someday. But we're losing a little bit of traction here, I believe.
Yeah.
So there's a thing. Okay, I guess we can just ask. So
Here's the thing.
Segueing. Oh, I have seen this picture.
It's
I had no idea that's what that came from. Why does Falco look like Falco and Fox doesn't look like Fox?
Because it's Star Fox Command.
Oh dear.
Also, like everyone is married and has kids, and
It's the cursed child, baby.
oh god, let's not talk about the cursed child. Oh no.
Let's not talk about
Did
anything
you know
J.K.
that
Rowling has anything to do with.
Canon, wizards
Oh.
don't use toilets for like the early years
Did
and
you
just
know
poof away their
that you can just
poop?
like transfigure into Voldemort? Anyways,
Yes. Let's move on.
what are you playing currently? What's on your radar?
What am I currently playing?
Yeah.
Well,
Nothing.
what I've been mainly playing is I've been chewing through Persona 5 Royal.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
nearing the end of the game.
I'm
I
not.
think maybe I'm like halfway through
How
the
many
new
hours are you into it?
I think I'm nearing 90.
Oh, okay.
Like
How long
I've
did your
averaged
first playthrough of the original take?
80. Like I finished the final boss of the original at this literally at the same amount of time as I did.
Oh yeah.
Like both times it took me 80 hours.
So I assume like
So-
to get in order to get access to the new stuff, you also need to get the true ending, and so you like I assume you can just like do the the failure endings, and then like
You can just for fun stuff, but I believe for the new content, you need to, as you know, you may not know all of them yet, but there are 3 new confidants.
that is true. Maruki, Kasumi, and Goro Akechi.
Okay, good. So you did know about that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. But you need to max out all 3 of those in order to obtain that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Other than that, you're good.
But I wonder, like, can you do that and then not get the true ending and still have the new stuff?
I mean, I believe if you don't get the true ending, the game ends.
Yeah,
like,
see, that's what I thought. Yeah, I don't know.
no, yeah. So I would assume not. I haven't done any of the false endings
Yeah,
because I'm always like, no justice.
Yeah, I just googled them for sure.
Dude, there's some crazy stuff in the new stuff. I'm a little shaky on how it takes the moment it's like we can do our new stuff now. It just
goes
like it just starts going, and I'm like, okay, God. I thought we were gonna have like a week just to chill first.
Oh,
like,
well, yeah, because
it plays its hand a little hard.
Oh, okay. I've kind of heard that.
It's still fun. It's still fun.
Royal's not canon either, is it?
It's not.
Yeah, because like what actually happens is Ren comes back for a summer in Scramble.
In Scramble is, I believe, it's Persona 5 2 in everything but name. Because I know, like, in a trailer, like, the logo, as it, like, assembled itself, a 2 came in, and then it flew away.
I mean, they've been pretty open about it being a true sequel, so...
It's just the official continuation of the canon story. Though, to be fair, if we do get eventually, like, a Persona 5 Arena, or another, like, kind of fun spin-off,
yeah,
like, definitely, like, Kasumi's gonna show up.
Oh,
and
you know it.
Like, they're gonna do all the fun stuff, so...
For sure. Yeah, because Kasumi's not in Scramble, as far as we know.
Well, yeah, because she's technically
she doesn't
not
exist.
canon.
Neither does Maruki.
Maruki, my
But it's
boy.
weird, because that game's going to become the definitive experience for people, but it's not actually going to be canon, so then is it actually the definitive experience?
You have the main game.
Yeah, that's true.
The main game and the extra stuff are pretty well separated.
You know?
What?
Maruki and Kasumi, and yeah, they're all like tied into the. She's in the first cutscene of the game.
No, I mean it's you still get majorly the same base experience. Like,
Okay, yeah,
you're not gonna.
wrong, and I agree.
It's not gonna be like what happened in the last game. It's gonna be like, oh, so that didn't happen. Okay, so it's a lot easier about it. Anyway, we need to talk about big boy gaming news.
I guess we do indeed.
The most important thing was revealed in the recent hours.
What do you mean?
New
recent hour? I'm scared.
A new continuation of perhaps the biggest titan in the console wars.
Yeah, before we move on, actually, it's funny to think that, because Xbox, I've always just gone with Xbox pretty much my whole life. And so in my mind, I'd have that bias of like, oh, they're the best because like it's the one I had growing up. And so I'm like, oh, they won every they have Xbox has
never lost they never won.
They have never won a generation. No matter how you slice it. The first generation they competed, no. Second, the PS3 ended up winning and the Wii existed. And then the Xbox One is the Xbox One. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yes.
So yes.
Yeah.
Sorry to totally derail your epic intro.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just gonna subvert your expectations and lead into Paper Mario, but
that is the grand titan of consoles.
I was gonna be like the new continuation. Obviously, it's Paper Mario, but I think we should cover the actual big name in the room.
Have you seen how people? Sorry, I'm totally just. But people have compared the disk drive with the USB to like get a size of how actually big the console is, and comparing it to other consoles.
Yeah,
and it's big, dude. It's bigger than the Xbox One, which is already probably the biggest console I own. It's not as big as the Philips CDI though. So,
do you want a Philips CDI?
No. I've just seen the comparison images.
That'd be sick though.
Because there were different versions of the CDI. Or was that the 3DO? Which one was that? I think it was.
I do not know.
The Panasonic CDI, right?
Something.
Yeah,
it's the Philips CDI.
They decided to do what Sega did and shove a Genesis into it. But anyways,
dude, Sega Genesis.
Yes,
dude, Alex Kidd.
Dude, Alex
come
Kidd
on,
DX,
man.
Let's go. What was that? That was announced at the IGN thing, right?
That was the day before the PlayStation.
Anyways, screw IGN. Even though they gave The Last of Us 2 10 out of 10.
Look, man.
And Kotaku gave it an 8. How dare they? Oh my gosh. That's still a good score.
I can't wait for the Metacritic score of 96 to 32.
Oh yeah. Or dude, it's gonna be the Last Jedi of games, really.
Yeah.
Although
actually it probably is. It probably is.
Maybe. But anyways.
Maybe Death Stranding.
Well,
dude, that game is controversial.
But Death Stranding isn't SJW trash, right? Unlike how The Last Jedi, most people would consider it SJW trash.
I wasn't thinking at it from that perspective.
Oh, sorry.
I just thought it was boring.
But yeah, PlayStation 5. It exists.
PlayStation 5. It's a new console generation. We have no price, and that is most definitely because they're waiting for Microsoft to announce it so they can do it lower by $100.
Maybe.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Usually PlayStation has had like the drop of the price and it's been like, hey, this is better.
$600. Oh, we're not buying it.
Other than the PS3.
That's true.
That was a screw up. But like PS4, it's like, hey, we're cheaper than the competitor.
So one thing before we totally dive into the PS5, how many fifth consoles have there been from a console guy? Sega, right? Because you had the SG-100 or whatever. The SG-1000, 100. The Mega Drive.
The Genesis.
Saturn.
Dreamcast. They hit 5, and then they died.
Nintendo has hit 5, depending how you count it.
Well, I mean, you have NES,
TV
Super
color
NES,
game
N64,
system.
GameCube, Wii U, Switch. So they have 8.
Virtual Boy.
No.
So what was their fifth one? Was it the Wii? Wii U? Wii. No. GameCube?
Wii.
Okay. So
it's N64 is third.
It's interesting because the third console from most developers is not as successful as they ever could have hoped. And that's a trend in the industry. Like, let's see, you got The
Well, I mean the Genesis.
Genesis is the second one.
No, I thought it was
Oh, you're right. Well,
modern. Let's just say the modern Titans.
okay, that's a good point. But like Nintendo's third console would have been, depending how you define it, because the
N64.
TV, yeah, N64 in many ways wasn't what Nintendo would have hoped it to be. I hope.
True.
And then obviously the PS3, even though it ended up winning the generation, and then the Xbox One, and it even repeats with Nintendo with the Wii U.
True.
So it's interesting how trends work, and I think
history repeats itself.
It's important to really.
That's why we have to kill God.
Yeah, obviously. Hell yeah.
Get out your big sword and your
big gun,
blonde-haired anime protagonist.
Hell yeah, dude.
Or well, assorted hair colors.
That's true.
That's the best trope. I love how every JRPG, like, doesn't matter what it is or how it sets it up, it always ends with like, God.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, screw it.
Or some deity.
Or something like that. But I think, I'm a big console history nerd. I really like to go over that kind of stuff. And so, PlayStation came in because Nintendo fucked up royally.
Yeah.
And that's really funny to me because I love Nintendo.
Yeah, man. They make good games a lot of the time.
Yeah. But everyone knows the story. They were developing a CD add-on for the SNES, and then that got canceled. And then they were not canceled, but Sony was like, okay, and then they did it. And then Nintendo was like, actually, we're doing this with Philips, and then blah 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 blah. Yeah. So Sony was like, okay, we'll make our own console, and then they made it, and it came out in 1994. 95?
I don't know.
94, and I have one sitting right next to me. I was gonna video it and like film it and show off that I own every PlayStation because I have no life. But yeah, so the PS1, it was hella successful, and it was the most successful console that generation. And then Sony was like, okay, we'll do it again. We'll make another one, and that's the PS2, and it's still the best-selling game console ever. I wonder if that will ever be beaten, but I don't.
What?
No.
For some reason, I thought the Wii was the best selling.
No, it's 144 is PlayStation 2 million. The 144 of them. Yeah. No, 144 million, and then
we talking the Dreamcast here?
The Wii, I believe, was 102 million, if I have the correct numbers.
Okay.
And there's many factors and reasons for that, but Sony went into that generation saying, "Hey, it's a cheap DVD player, and it can play games," and it didn't have games for about 2 years.
So people bought it because they could play DVDs.
Well, you like. Dude, DVD players at the turn of the century were really expensive, and Sony was like, here's one for $200. And that's crazy. Like, that was undeniably one of the biggest reasons why that console was so successful. But it also
Let's go capitalism.
Exactly. But it also just happened to have an
example of it working good.
Yeah, true. They destroyed everyone and no survivors because they almost killed Nintendo. And then Nintendo said, fuck you, in the next generation. But, sorry, console history is my favorite thing. It's like presidencies. People study presidencies. I study console generations. I'll be a console generationologist. And then Sony was like, okay, we're king of the fucking world. And this is the third console curse. They are all high on their laurels, sitting on their laurels, and they're like, you know what? Everyone fucking loves us. And so they were like, let's put a PS1, a PS2, and then our brand new console in one console, and we'll sell it for $600. And it will have 8,000 USB ports on it. And you can put in your media devices that are pointless. And so, that didn't really work out for them very well. They marketed it as $600, which, especially going into a recession at the time, was not a very good idea. So no one bought it until they reduced it and made a new version. And that's when the PS3 was like, yeah, okay, we won. And, The Last of Us certainly helped with that. I think it was really important that they knew, hey, we're not going to be able to salvage this, even though they did. And so they were like, okay, let's focus on our brand loyalty. And I think ever since The Last of Us, PlayStation has never been the same. And that totally has led them into the PS4 and now the PS5. And I honestly don't see much different between when the PS4 was announced to when the PS5 has been announced.
Here's kind of how it is right now. Nintendo has always been on their own because they focused on their exclusives.
Like, well, we can't compete, even though they could, and they were the kings of gaming, but then they're not.
I mean, like, they don't have to. Like, why should they? They have all their unique games, and they do all this stuff. That's how they float. I see with PlayStation doing their stuff with like obtaining studios and all of this, and now they have like the title of like Sony games or whatever,
Sony
or like
yeah, whatever it's called.
Sony's PlayStation Studios or something.
Yeah.
They are kind of making that shift as well to where they have like a set of developers in series that like, why do you get the PlayStation? Because that's the console you play Horizon on, dummy, and Spider-Man.
Dude,
and,
I have never thought about this. That is so fascinating.
While, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do it to them. Microsoft is sitting back there still, kinda in the dust.
Yeah.
They're kind of toying with their food. And while they do have Game Pass, which is a very cool thing, and they also are able to go on PC, they don't have a lot of exclusive like games to buy on it outside of like Halo.
And I fucking love Halo 5.
And Halo happens like once a generation now.
Yeah, sadly. But yeah, like there, as far as I know, there are 3. I think it might even be 4. Fully exclusive Xbox One games. 4. That's 4. That's crazy low. It's like Halo 5, some fucking like Japanese
not good
game. And what's the other one? I don't know.
Rare Replay?
I believe so. And then
and that is technically not even exclusive because it's a collection of older games.
Exactly. And then there's one more, but I can't remember what it is. It's like, I think it's a Japanese game, which is especially bizarre because the Xbox Japan lol. I never thought of that perspective.
I'm looking up.
I totally never thought of this perspective. How like Sony, I never thought of this. That's fascinating.
This is not an exclusive. It's an indie game.
Oh,
that is on PC. That is also on PC.
Oh, it's like a Wikipedia page, and it has like list of true Xbox One exclusives.
And all these Xbox One exclusives are sure doing great on Steam.
Yeah, and so are actually. To be fair, Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC. The first one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's
Horizon 2 so far isn't though.
Yeah, as far as we know. But that's gonna be crazy to see. Like that, it's gonna be running at 60 and above, and like wow.
Yeah.
4K. I mean, it can run at 4K, but
yeah. Speaking of Horizon, PlayStation 5.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I think a way to open this is, what is the game you are most like excited for, interested in from this?
Okay.
Like one or two games that you're interested in.
Obviously, it's Grand Theft Auto 5. No,
come on.
Even I am pretty upset about that. Like, I've played that game at least 7 times. And I own it.
I don't need it again. But it's enhanced, Scott.
And I don't care about the online at all for that game. But
you get $1 million a month.
Yeah, dude. Okay, for real though. Wow, Rockstar. Wow, but okay. That's like, that would be if EA was like, just we'll give you money. That's basically what, anyways.
Okay. What were you interested in? What interested you?
The more I've been sitting so Kena, in the spirit of the whatever the heck, that game.
That's like the weird.
That was the one I walked away saying like that. I want to see more. I want to play that. That looks interesting. It looks cute. It seems like a kind of game that's up my alley, action adventure. And the more I've thought about it, and the more I've let it stew, I honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's Horizon 2. For a couple reasons. One, Killzone, the first one, which was also made by Guerrilla. I don't know if it's the same like team or whatever, but it was an okay game. You know, PS2, it was limited by its hardware. And it was okay. And then the second one came out, and it's way better. In just about every way. It was on a new console. They could use the power of that new console, and it was just better. And it's not like Killzone 1 was awful. It wasn't. And, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn, it's the most... what was a word? It's a game I've wanted since I was like 8 years old, you know? Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
dinosaurs and hunting
And robots.
awesome. And then you
Dude,
play
the concept of Horizon is so good.
it's sick. And then you play it, at least for me personally, and I'm like, I feel like I've played this already in a weird way. And to me, it just didn't do anything special. The story was pretty okay. I didn't really care about Aloy. None of the I don't think I could tell you anything about the game that I felt was special, other than the controller makes a weird noise when you draw your bowstring.
I mean, it's pretty Monster Hunter-esque, but like the parts I really enjoyed was when it was like, oh, dude, I'm fighting this weird thing, and there are weak spots, and I'm like dodging around and finding out how to do it.
Is a highlight for me. The big bird robot that you fight was a pretty big highlight.
So like, if they just do more of that, then I'm down.
Yeah, I just think I unfortunately played it too late. I played it last year. I got a PS4 last June. It's been a year. So I've played through the game, and it's been a whole year. Not since I played through the game, but it's been a whole year since I've got my hands on it. And it's kind of how I feel about a game like Jedi Fallen Order, for example, where I'm like, it didn't do enough for me, and it's weird. I don't know like what it should have done or what it could have done. But that's what makes me excited about the sequel.
So you can see what it does and hope it achieves that.
Gaming sequels generally, I feel like they usually have a bigger budget, first of all, which is, good for the developer because they can do more of what they want. And so I think for me, it's gonna be Horizon, even though I think that Kina game that's just a game that like you'll sit and play and smile and like have fun with. But I feel like Horizon has a possibility to, I don't know, turn some heads.
I think one of the games I was most interested in, I feel like what would be expected of me
Ratchet
is
and
like,
Clank.
Ratchet and Clank or Sackboy or even Astro's Playroom, because I'm a platformer boy. And, it's hype that we're getting 3 platformers on it. That's pretty sick. I'm down.
That's true.
But I think the game that I was most intrigued by was Solar Ash, the one done by the Hyperlight Drifter developer.
Yes.
And I am an indie boy.
I like Hyperlight Drifter.
Yeah, dude. So I'm like, oh, dude, this looks sick, and like, it looks really cool, and also it's movement based.
Right.
I think it's gonna be really interesting. I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. Here, I remember the trailer. Like, it's in 3D, right? And
it's a 3D. That's new for them. It looks like a 3D kind of platformer, action platformer.
Yeah. We don't exactly know. Yeah, I remember this trailer.
Yeah, we don't know a lot, but it's made by an indie dev and it looks cool, so I'm down. Like, there are cool stuff. Like, of course, I'm excited for Spider-Man and Ratchet. I
still need to play Spider-Man.
And Demon Souls.
Oh yeah.
Because like,
so I guess I think inverse of the question would be, what is the game you just that
I was not interested at all?
Yeah.
Goodbye Volcano High.
I want to agree, but then Godfall exists. So, or was that what it's called?
Yeah.
Or Bug Snap. I don't know. There was a few weird ones, but I think I can agree with you. Like, Goodbye Volcano High was the one where I'm like,
Look, that was just a story trailer.
Yeah.
So that's a big reason to why, because I'm a gameplay boy.
Yeah. Like, it was a bit of a turnoff from the get-go. Okay, can I just say this whole there was something about furries with this whole presentation. I don't know if you noticed that, but like the Little Big Planet trailer or whatever that game's called, like it like furry baits you. Sackboy's wearing like a tiger suit.
Tiger suit?
It was weird. And
there were quite a few I was interested in.
Oh, speaking of, so I streamed my reaction to the thing, right? And I talked about Infamous before the event started. And then the Spider-Man thing started happening, and I thought it was Infamous 4, and I was so hyped. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's a sequel to a game I haven't played yet. And I'm like, that's
You posted
fine.
the image of you freaking out at the Rockstar logo.
That is the whole presentation in a nutshell, I think.
No, there was a lot. Like, I think Oddworld Soulstorm looks cool.
That was cool.
Like,
that's
one of those like old like niche series that I'm like, I'm down. I'm always down.
Was that on PC originally?
No, that was PlayStation. That's
it?
a PlayStation original.
I had no idea.
That's an old PS1 series.
Okay.
We got Resident Evil 8, and that I'm excited because it's Resident Evil 8. The trailer didn't do a lot for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the faces kind of look worse.
Chris
So
looks
to
like
be
a
fair,
PS2 character in the.
to be fair, this is all like pre-alpha stuff.
But it's
Like
using
as
the
it said, it's
RE
early stuff.
engine. Did we even get like a
Sure.
release window for RE8?
No,
Okay.
I don't think we did. I don't think we got a release window for most of these.
From what I remember, it was 2021 nothing or holiday 2020, and then
No. Resident Evil got 2021.
Okay, so that might be spring.
They've done good. Like they've always knocked it out of the park visually. I do think they are definitely going to. They're gonna pull it together at least visually.
It's one I'll keep my eyes on,
especially since it's a big boy.
I definitely think because like 7, okay, the Resident Evil franchise is a disaster. 1 is awesome, 2 is amazing, 3 is okay, 4 is awesome, 5 is okay, 6 is all right, and then all that other shit. And then they made some remakes of the old game, and that was cool. The first, it was probably the best one. And then the remake of the second one was awesome. I loved it. It's probably my favorite. I haven't played 3 because, and then 7 came out. And
7's good. 7's good. I like 7 a lot.
It's definitely good, but I don't know. It's so far removed from everything that I don't know. It feels like,
to be fair, that was kind of the point, because that was it was like the Renaissance. It was like the thing of like, oh god, Resident Evil has been garbage for a while, so we just need to be like, this is entirely separate. We are making a good horror game. It's of different things, so we don't have to think about all this previous plot and all the silly stuff. And then at the end, they tied in a bit, but at that point, they earned it.
It feels, in a way, it kind of feels like they're like, yeah, we have this cool idea for a game, a first-person horror game in a mansion with creepy people, a family. And then they're like, oh, okay, we can make this a Resident Evil game. And it just feels like halfway through development, they're like, okay, it's Resident Evil now. I don't know. It doesn't it's weird to me.
I respect it because it's actually a horror game. Because a lot of first-person horror nowadays is like
Outlast. We run away.
Haunted housey.
Yeah.
Like, where you kind of walk in and scary things happen and you just kind of look at it.
Really good looking game. Like,
oh yeah, totally. The RE engine is
great. I want to see how does Devil May Cry 5 use it? Like, only imagine.
Kind of the same way. It's just, dude, Devil May Cry 5. That's
wood textures. Oh yeah.
You mentioned earlier Game of the Year, and I'm like, oh no, that wins. That wins. 2019 best game.
But yeah, it's one that I'll keep my eyes on. Because 7 wasn't bad. It wasn't really what I wanted. But Resident Evil 2 remake was. So can I really complain? No.
Yeah.
What else? There was tons of stuff.
Spider-Man. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because
I know you like that.
Insomniac does good work. They do good work. I don't think they've put out a game I would, at least in a while, they haven't put out a game I would consider bad. People might say like
Capcom.
No, Insomniac.
Oh yeah.
Like they are. There's like a short list of studios where I'm like, these games usually jive with me. And Insomniac, if it's not in that short list, it's pretty close. Like, if Ratchet is great and the new Spider-Man is great, I'm like, I think I could jive with these guys.
The only game I've played by them is Sunset Overdrive. The more I look at it,
I want to play that.
You'd like it.
It's movement.
Yeah,
and I like movement.
You'd like it.
Yeah. It's a little. I've seen some stuff. It's a little like
weird.
It's dated a little bit.
It was pretty early on. What the hell? Yeah.
Early Xbox One. I mean, like, dated in terms of its humor and being like, oh, dude.
Yeah. It feels like it was a 2008 game that got stuck and then came out in 2013 or whenever it came out.
It feels like a 2008 game if the games in 2008 weren't all busy with being brown and
True.
Like...
Yeah, it feels military. Like Dead Rising's kind of humor in a way.
No, yeah. That's what it reminds me of a lot.
For sure.
But yeah, Insomniac, they do good work. I'm excited to see what they do.
I should play older Ratchet and Clank stuff.
Yeah, it's
I
just
was more
it's
of a
a
Jack and
good
Dexter
series.
kind
They
of
have
guy. And Sly Cooper.
they got 2 sick trilogies because you had the original on PS2, which was great, and then the future trilogy on
Wasn't there a
PS3, which I haven't
PS4
played,
game that like wasn't
which I haven't played, but
great?
I heard is good.
Oh,
They did a remake of the original, but it was more of a reimagining, and that's like the one out of the main games that was kind of like,
okay.
like. But
Yeah, I just
I
don't
feel
know
like
much
now that
about
they're
Ratchet and
like
Clank.
back to like making unique stuff,
True.
they aren't
They're
held
not
in
by an IP that they
Yeah.
with tons of
because also
lore.
that was like based on a movie. Like it was supposed to meet up with a movie, and like
Yeah, and I heard the
it
movie
was
wasn't
probably
great.
Oh, the movie was bad. I heard.
Yeah.
So
I never saw it though.
same. I think when they are free to do what they want, they make some good stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
This is
Also,
kinda...
we saw some gameplay.
Yeah,
so,
there was
that's some
surprisingly a lot of gameplay at this thing. Like Gran Turismo 7, it's Gran Turismo 7, and you sit in a car.
I'm not gonna pick it up.
The last one I've ever bought and the only one I own is 4. So,
Yeah.
We
We didn't see any Spider-Man gameplay, but like
it's
probably gonna be very similar to the original, just with some probably higher fidelity stuff.
And I think that's, I mean, the first one came out in September of 2018.
Yeah, it was a 2018 game.
And the game's coming out 2020, it said, right?
Yeah, this year, holiday this year.
Wow,
they're definitely using the same open world. They're definitely doing that.
That's a Majora's Mask right there.
I do. Okay,
18
you want to know?
months.
You want to know what makes Demon Souls remake one of the best reveals of the thing?
No. Yeah, of course I do.
Something they did highlight is that the game is going to have 2 graphics modes.
Oh,
one focused on fidelity and one on frame rate, like what every modern game on like Xbox and PlayStation should do.
A lot of Switch ports have been doing that.
I think we're at the point, especially with these newer consoles that are based at this point, it's less about we can do things we couldn't before. It's a lot more like we can just make things really detailed and like make things look really good. I think that should be an industry standard.
Like
if you're making a game and it's like it runs at stable 30 but it looks really good, I think you should, at least from the big guys, you should have an option to be like, make it a little worse, lower the detail on stuff, but make it locked at 60.
Yeah. But now I'm trying to think how that would like work with Red Dead Redemption 2 on PS4.
Like, well, I mean, not on PlayStation 4. I'm saying like on the new
stuff.
No.
I know.
From
like,
now on. Like,
yeah.
It's not gonna be a standard, but I wish it was, because, man, it sucks when it's like, man,
but
I wish this was 60.
Since Demon Souls is a remake, reimagining, whatever the fuck you call them, I think it can afford to do that more so than like Horizon, whatever the hell Horizon 2 can do, because Horizon 2's whole thing is like, oh, let's push the hardware as much as we can, and so I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna want to say, oh, it looks like shit, but it runs at 60. Yay,
I mean, at this point, it won't look like garbage. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I can do without ray tracing.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not Digital Foundry.
I'm not. Like, as long as it looks like good and it's HD and I just want things to run stably. Man.
Imagine there is a PS4 game or PS5 game that's like barely 720p. That would be hilarious. Speaking of, Sackboy and the Adventures of Who Cares, that looks like a PS3 game to me.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, there was nothing about that screamed, this is next gen. Like, the textures on things I feel like they could have looked way better. Like, it looked like Yoshi's Woolly World up in here.
I mean, that's the point.
I know, but I felt like if they're going for that naturalistic, they could have probably done photorealistic, maybe. I don't know. Nothing about it was like, this looks next. I don't know. It was bizarre to me, and it's not even made by like the original developers. It's yeah. I just don't.
I'm not super excited for it because people are like, oh, do we get to make our own like 3D things now? It's like, well, no, it's dropped the whole Little Big Planet label.
Right.
So I think well, maybe.
I've only played.
I'm looking at the trailer right now,
but...
and there was like a collectible that looks like one in the old series that would unlock like cosmetics and stuff.
Yeah, the like capsule
like parts
looking thing.
Yeah, so maybe, but
I've only played the first one, and it's a game that when you buy it 5, 6, 7 years later, it's not the same experience. So I can kind of commend going for a completely like, hey, this is a game, and it's not like something like the I don't know, or I almost said Death Stranding, but I guess you could make that argument. It's not something that like once the service is gone, it's a completely different game. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
two was the Little Big Planet 2 was the one that had like the good campaign.
Yeah, two I've heard much better things about.
Okay. I'm a little bit more excited.
Well, 3 was
I'm watching the trailer right now, and I'm getting heavy Mario 3D World vibes.
See, and that's all it looks like to me.
And I'm like, okay, I'm down.
And it's like we've done this. I don't know. Nothing about it is like I need it. You know.
Yeah, I agree. But it's also like, it's variety. I feel better about it because we see a lot of gameplay, and I'm like, hey, look, it's running at a stable frame rate.
Yeah.
It's Xbox. Running good, and it looks nice. And it's like, that's cool. More than a trailer where it's like all CG, and it's just like, okay, what's happening here?
What was really lame to me about the GTA 5 announcement, not even the fact that it was a GTA 5 announcement in 2020, but it was like they didn't even say what to expect. They just like, it's enhanced. And it's like, oh, like does that mean it's gonna run in native 4K? Is it gonna run 1080 60 on console? Like what are we getting from this? Because from the get-go, the first thing that when they announced the PS4 version was, or the PS4 and Xbox One, it's going to have a whole new first-person perspective. Like, that was a huge thing. And this time they're on like, we like money. I don't know. It feels so off to me. But, and at least I didn't get that vibe from Sackboy. So,
I think I can say the one I was probably most disappointed in.
Yeah, like was there
like,
one
actually
for sure that you were like, oh, like while you're watching the trailer and then the name comes up?
Like there's certain things it's like, oh no, like it's just something I'm not interested in, which is fine. Like
NBA
other people
2K21.
Yeah, like that's fine. But I think one that it was a game that I was really intrigued with previously, but now that we have a trailer for it, I'm less interested. Ghostwire Tokyo.
I was gonna bring that up soon. Yeah, so didn't the lady that was originally heading the
she
project
left the
leave
studio
because Bethesda, lol.
Yeah, get out of there, girl.
Like, okay, most of what we saw from the game was I'm standing completely still using my hands in a room, and then
for some reason I feel like the point of view is very close. Like that's the weirdest thing. I'm like, it looks really zoomed in. Like,
yeah, field of view.
Maybe it's just because I've been playing. My first person shooter experience is basically only Doom. So I'm used to like
Doom has notoriously high. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been playing Halo 3, a game that on console had tiny, like literally one of the smallest FOVs in a shooter, to playing it on PC with 95 FOV, and it's like. Field of view is important, but maybe the type of experience they're going for really requires that. I don't know. I just felt like I wasn't really like... It was a game that when it was first shown off at the Bethesda conference last year, it was like, yeah, this looks cool. And then...
I mean, it wasn't shown off. It was just like
tease.
a tease of like their yokai.
Yeah,
ghosts.
The tease alone was interesting, I guess.
I feel like I kind of need to see more. Like,
yeah.
I still have interest, especially as I'm now getting more interested in first-person shooters and stuff.
Hell yeah, dude!
And there were some really cool, like psychedelic stuff that I was like, "Hey, man, this is like kind of Silent Hilly."
Right.
Like, I need to see more.
That one,
but
game,
from that one trailer, I'm a little disappointed.
It didn't really fill me with love or excitement.
A lot of the stuff looks cool though. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it
stuff
looks
where you,
like
like,
Tokyo.
it
for
looks like
sure.
you have to like expose like the ghost's core and then you rip it out
Yeah.
and all that. That's kind of like the loop,
It kind of gave,
which could be interesting.
in the Rise of Skywalker when Rey and Kylo break the Vader helmet and then and then they're like doing the Force Skype and then it like breaks. That's what that reminded me of. I don't know why.
What the hell, man? How does that make sense?
Anyways, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from. It's one that I feel like it's gonna get like a 70-ish on Metacritic, and then it'll be forgotten. But who knows? Maybe it could be the next big thing. It's kind of what it was advertised as originally.
Yeah.
But then speaking
Project
of shooters,
Athia is never coming out.
okay, Project Athia. Here's my theory: is Final Fantasy 16.
It's never coming out.
Is that
It has a project title. It has a no date.
and it says
It's
Square
on
Enix.
a new hardware. It's Square Enix. This game, we are not seeing it till the end of the generation, or it's being canceled.
The last Guardian of this generation.
It's the Final Fantasy VII of this generation.
Yeah. I think. Okay. Well, so the whole. Well, actually, so people have already compared it to the whatever for Liber Fatalis, whatever the hell Final Fantasy 13 was called before it was Final Fantasy 13. But that was at least marketed as a new Final Fantasy. So this could be something completely different. And the lines.
So you're thinking it might be Final Fantasy 16?
I think it is Final Fantasy 16, or
Could
whatever Final Fantasy 16 is, or would be, or whatever.
Like some of it looks cool. It definitely seemed in that state. There's like one of the tells for when it's supposed to be something that looks like gameplay but actually isn't, is when there are like really detailed animations.
Yeah.
Like some of the early Cyberpunk footage we ever saw. I was like, this isn't real, because it's like you pick up the gun and you look at it and you disassemble it and then you reassemble it and then you start to shoot. It's like, if that's the actual gameplay, that is the most tedious stuff.
I mean,
and
like
no one's gonna want to play that.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of shooters, like
I mean, like outside of like usually like every time you pick up a gun or do a new thing where it's like you look all over, it's like usually that's saved to new weapons or early game stuff.
Like Doom 1, I know, like when you get new guns, it's like, oh hey look, or like BioShock, it's like, oh hey look.
It's just like a quick
like, it's only like
you
the
look
first
at
time
it,
you pick up the
cock
gun,
it, and then you move on.
To be fair, yeah, that was like,
it's just like when things are overly detailed, it's like,
yeah,
it's going to be like tedious to play, and they definitely can't
2.
keep this up for an entire experience, especially one that is supposed to be that large.
Oh yeah, okay, for sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but so
like in the trailer, when the character it was I forgot, but like when they were jumping on like those rocks, I was like, that looks jank.
See, to me, that was the only part that was like,
that's real. That looks jank.
That's when I was like, kind of getting
it's
into
a project.
It the most.
It's a pre-alpha.
But I'll say this: Square Enix hasn't really made a game that's been like universally adored in a long time. Would you agree with me? Okay.
Other than 14, like the developments to 14, I would.
I mean, like Octopath Traveler, maybe.
Donkey didn't like Octopath.
Yeah, there you go. But it's just been a while, like Kingdom Hearts 3 and blah blah blah, Final Fantasy 7 remake.
I mean, even if you consider 14 as a whole game, at first it wasn't. It was very controversial and not good.
And so
now, if you want to talk about a redemption arc in a game,
Capcom.
Then you look at 14.
Yeah,
because that game went from being garbage to like what some people consider one of the best MMOs.
Yeah,
like MMO like campaigns ever made.
True, very true. And that's the thing that kind of. Okay, so like I've been diving in head first. I've been playing through a lot of the Final Fantasies. I played through 7. I played through 7 remake. I am playing through 8 right now, and I'm excited. Like I'm just getting into things. It's cool. And so I think from looking at the way that the history of the development of that franchise went, I would not be surprised if this was Final Fantasy 16 and then they're like, let's make it not that, or it is Final Fantasy 16 and they're waiting to tell us that because they're not quite sure.
Yeah.
But I would be really excited if it was, because just the fact alone that now that I'm joined in, I guess I'm part of it. The fact that
you join the collective,
it'll be my first new one that isn't remake, so that's exciting alone for me. But it kind of shows to me that Square is going to take their time with it, because sorry, they're kind of known for pushing things out the door as quickly as they can, especially like Final Fantasy 7 was an exception. But like 8 and 9 and 10, they tried their hardest to get those out within 2 years of development. So it's interesting that they're just like, this is a thing and we don't know when it's coming, but PS5. And that excites me. So hopefully they got something cooking. But cool. I do see what you mean, though. It's like, what do we expect? I don't know. It was one that was like an oh shit moment, and then it wasn't.
It was one of those where like, oh god, what's this gonna be? And then it wasn't anything.
Yeah. The environments looked cool, but again, that's all like concept art. Like that's basically what you're looking at, is just like pre-rendered cutscenes of stuff.
I watched a guy's reaction to it, Maximilian Dudes, and before the reaction, he like made bets for things he wanted to see, and he got them all half right. So he was like, Bloodborne 2, 50 subs. Final Fantasy 7 remake update, 100 subs.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom, 1,000, and like all of them he got technically right. Because we got Demon Souls, and we got Spider-Man, and we got freaking Project Anthem. It's like
that was one thing that going into the event, people were saying. They're like, "Oh, they're gonna announce Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 or whatever," and I'm like, "There's no way." Like off the coattails, no way.
A cinematic trailer showing them leaving Midgar.
It would be like.
Out
you know what the trailer would be,
and then simply a date of 2027.
The trailer would probably be like killing the Midgar thingamabob, the big snake guy, like just it standing on a stake or something. I don't know, whatever, they could do something. The weird thing is, the beginning of Final Fantasy VII is like so linear and like you can just nail it. You're like, it's in a big city. But then after that, it's kind of like all over the place. And so it's really going to be interesting how they're going to market the next games for 5, you know what I mean? I'm especially after finishing the game, no spoilers, but I'm really excited to see what they do. And I really wanted to finish the game before I had any obviously definitive thoughts, but I'm kind of glad they didn't show off anything, because if they have something, it probably isn't ready. So the ending of that game, though, oh man, it literally says the untold journey will continue, and I'm like, oh wow, I'm excited.
I think that kind of covers a lot of it.
I guess you could talk about the console itself, like how do you think about what it looks, how much do you think it's going to cost, all that.
It's probably gonna. I don't know. I don't really have a good way to judge price. Like, honestly,
people have been talking about an Amazon listing that got taken down. I kind
of wish. I'm kind of disappointed. Like, it looks cool, and I'm glad they're still offering a disc drive option.
Yeah. I feel like that's not gonna last the whole generation.
This might be the generation where it dies, which sucks.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because I am a collector.
But hey, maybe they'll make a PS4 insert an SSD here, where the game comes on an SSD. I don't know.
Maybe. I know it is backwards compatible with the PS4, which is
something they should have talked about.
Backwards compatibility is also something that should be, unless it's due to like the type of media you're using, it should be standardized.
Right. I certainly think the things I liked the least about the conference were more so the things they didn't talk about versus the things they did. And so I think it would have been very useful if they talked about backwards compatibility, if they talked about the
They have
price.
confirmed it's backwards compatible with PS4.
Correct, but they've been very unclear what that means. If that means every PS4 game, or like some of them, or like one of them, or The Last of Us 2, or whatever, Ghost of Tsushima.
I don't need to play Life of Black Tiger on the PS5. I'm okay.
Oh man, I can't. I want to play Duck Hunt, or not Duck Hunt, Duck Dynasty on PS5.
Dude, cat lateral damage.
The PS5 is not complete without Duck Dynasty, but
it's
I think
not unless you can play Madden 08.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, there you go. I mean, that's why PS4 sucks. It doesn't have Madden 08. But my real point here is I do think it's really unfortunate that both of these consoles have been kind of cucked in a way. Like, oh, boohoo, first world problems. But if you really sit down and think about it, like, this is so abnormal for a new console generation. Usually the developers and publishers are like, get it out the door, get people excited, we're going. But with this, there's like weird smoke and mirrors going on, and it's so bizarre, and I don't know if it's because of COVID or it's just the way that these companies are playing with each other to like put them out. But I think it's really unfortunate that, like, you know, we're in a time right now where people are worried about money, and like we don't know the price of this thing that could cost upwards of $800, and it comes out in 6 months, less than that. That's worrying to me in the sense of I don't think this launch is going to be it for both consoles very successful. And that's not because of the consoles themselves, it's because of the situation around them, which they can't control that. They can react to it. So depending on if Sony's like, yeah, you know, never mind, we're just going to release the digital only version because it's cheaper to make. I don't know. Maybe they'll do that. Who knows? Probably not. Yeah. But
speaking of financial troubles, support the podcast today on our Patreon.
Oh yeah, because I need what do I need to make this better? A better microphone, probably. I don't know. I need to pick up a new one.
Use microphones and audio interfaces.
That's true. I could just use a studio with like key lighting and like a soundboard and everything.
You know what we could use?
So every time
PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, honestly, how do you think about what it looks like?
I think it looks cool, but the thing I'm most disappointed in how it looks is I wish that they kept like the single tone thing they've had.
Yeah.
Every PlayStation has been like the one tone of color.
Yeah, PlayStation 1 is like gray, kind of. PlayStation 2 is black with highlights of blue. PS3 is, well, the original was black and kind of silver and fat and huge. And then the side, you know, the Slim, which is the real PS3, is black. I'm glad that they didn't go with black. I'll say that much.
Yeah, but I don't know. They had like a trend going.
Yeah.
So while it looks cool, it's a little bit like, oh dang.
Because as simple as the PS4's design is, I really like it. Like, really like it. And the PS5, though, that was one where, like, it's visually striking. It's one that, if it's on your shelf and you have people over, they're gonna say, what the fuck is that? You know?
It looks like Alienware, how they do, like, their laptops and PCs.
But it's certainly one...
It's not a bad thing.
It kind of reminds me of the original Xbox, in a way. Just like it's so weird, but in a way I like it. I do like it. I'm not going to pretend to be I know better than Sony on how to design a console, because no, you don't. I'm sorry, Twitter person, but you don't. But yeah, I think I'm excited just from the way it looks. I will admit the discless version I think visually looks a bit more appealing.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't have a bump. It's flat. It's symmetrical.
Yeah, but you know what? Also, you know what this means to me in a way?
What?
It means in some way that the PS5 is modular. You get what I'm saying?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't understand
because
what modular
is. Think of a PC, right? You can put.
Oh, you mean like you're thinking there's like some way where you can like add or take off components?
Yeah.
There can be additions to it. Okay,
like,
I get it.
You know, in a theoretical world, maybe you can get a diskless version and then purchase a
separate
conversion kit that'll let you add on a disk drive. I don't
know.
Happen. I obviously am just speculating. It was an idea that just popped into my head. But I think it would be really neat to see, because Did they say how big the SSD was going to be? I don't think they did actually.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
There's rumors it's only going to be 2 terabytes, which, judging by how this console generation ended, 2 terabytes is not enough to just exist for at least a year with the types of games that are made that are over 100 gigabytes. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm looking at you.
You know,
it could.
Certain developers optimize more than others, you know?
Yeah, that's true. And none of Microsoft's fucking publishers care. Like, okay, Halo 5 on the Xbox One is 125 gigabytes. Gears of War 4 and 5 are over 100 each. Forza games are like 80 plus. It's ridiculous. And then the PlayStation's like, hey, Persona 5 Royal, it's like barely 30 gigs. You know, just saying. Although The Last of Us 2 is gonna kill my PS4. I'm not ready. I've heard that you can like clean out the fan in your PS4, and that makes things a little easier in a way. But I do hope though, because my biggest problem with the PS4 is it's a little loud, and so if the 5 is a little quieter, sure. But it's also big. So I'm kind of scared it won't fit on where I want it to. Also, I don't know where the hell I'm going to put it. I could put it up vertically. I could, but
we're getting to the point where it's like, well, you're going to have to start moving consoles.
True.
Like,
do I retire the?
Do you have for a PS4 with a backwards compatible PS5?
But we don't know how backwards compatible it is. We don't know. They have not been clear about it. They say they've said it's fully. It's not. Until someone gets on stage and says, you can play every PS4 game that you own physically, then I'll be like, okay. But I won't be able to play Red Dead Redemption 2, but that's fine.
Why?
Because I don't own it physically.
If
they do the Xbox One approach, where if you owned it digitally on 360, then it's yours, and you could put it in, but you also, if you own it on disc, then you just put it in and it's yours. That would be cool. I don't know, though. I really don't.
Dude, I wish that was a standard.
I guess the end question to all this. Oh,
I do have to say one last
thing. The controller, if we want to talk about that.
I mean, I guess it looks fine. I guess
the haptic feedback thing's got me hyped. I won't lie.
I guess, like, I'll be real. I just don't understand it. I'm just like, does the controller work and feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been watching the Ratchet and Clank demo, and they showed, and you know what? I'm more excited for it.
Yeah.
It looks.
A lot of like Digital Foundry, they said that it's kind of a demo of what the SSD in the PS5 is going to be able
it's
to
less
do.
Visual, like, wow, look at how HD it is. It's more like, dude, we can just load things.
Yeah, and since the PS4, as far as I know, is capable of being like, you can just put an SSD in there. But since the devs aren't making games with that in mind, it can't utilize it. So that's something that PS5 is just going to be able to do, which is exciting for developers.
Yeah. Also, you get new character for the internet to loot.
Oh, that's right. I sent that in the group chat.
Yeah, you said in the group chat. It's been an hour.
It had been like 30 minutes since they posted that. And it's like, wow. And I'm ashamed that I found that, but I did.
Don't worry, it's the internet.
I actively looked for it. I won't lie, because I'm like, it has to exist. Someone has probably done it.
You did not need to mention that part.
This is
like, no, you probably just ran into it. It's okay. It's the internet. It's happened to everyone.
Yeah.
Look, man. Look, now it's begun. Now, okay, it's official. Scott is a furry.
Uh-oh.
Look, man, you have a cat as your profile pic. You're talking about how you looked for nudes of a.
I felt, dude.
Lomax.
I'm a fox. I'm a wolf main in Smash. Oh dear.
You're a wolf main.
Oh dear. But to close our thoughts on the PS5,
your favorite game is Super Mario Bros. 3 with a Tanuki suit.
Oh, you got me, boy. Oh no. Oh no.
You're a furry. Okay, yes. PS5.
So, to close our thoughts on the PS5, what is something you would like to see most? Like, what is from things because we've heard a lot of information, and there's things we haven't heard, but what is something you want most from either information regarding the console or a game that hasn't been announced, or just what do you want most from it?
What's a game I'd want to see? I mean, really, it's just like I just want to see more cool games. Like I want to see what each of the studios are doing. You know, I want to see Elden Ring. I want to see. Well, I mean, that's multiplat, but
True. I mean, they talked about a couple multiplats.
they did. But just thinking in terms of like, first party Sony, like, dude, what's Sucker Punch doing? And like,
where's God of War 2 Electric Boogaloo?
I mean, Thor.
Wait, no, we're forgetting the actual thing that matters. Where is Knack 3?
Dude, where's Parappa the Rapper 3?
Oh, dude. For real, though.
I would kill for Parappa 3.
I totally forgot that they made a sequel to Knack. That was like a big PS4 game. That was like...
Knack 2, baby.
That feels like it, I feel like they could just redo Knack and put on PS5 and no one would notice.
They tried to sell a console with Knack and it failed.
I feel like some of the games that they showed off were kind of like that. I feel like in a way, I don't know.
But they had more. They had a Spider-Man and they had Horizon.
True.
And they had
also, yeah,
all this other, and they had established series. Like, here's the thing: say what you will about like Ratchet and Clank or Sackboy or even the Astrobot one. Like, but at this point, 2 out of the 3 are established series, which are like generations old, and in like definitely in their prime, they were very popular. And then the third one is kind of just, it's what PlayStation has kind of as a mascot. Also, it's free, but
yeah, the
because it
robot
comes
one.
preloaded, and that's sick because the game for the PS4 was really good. It was like a VR 3D platformer, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I heard good things. I guess, I think the big elephant in the room, obviously, is the price for me. Just of like, I guarantee the digital one will be cheaper. That's about all I can say.
Yeah, it has less components.
I just want to know how like controllers, like the Xbox One and PS4 controllers, cost like $60 each. I wonder how much that controller is going to cost.
I mean, to be fair, like on these consoles, local multiplayer is kind of dead.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when have we ever played local multiplayer on a PS4? Aside from like the one time, aside from when me and Ian play fighting games,
Street
and
Fighter 5, Burger Time.
That was on Switch. Heavy Burger is on Switch.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Like, okay, that's gonna be the biggest thing against the Sackboy game. It's like, oh, cool, it's multiplayer, but like, who's playing local multiplayer on PS4?
I mean, that's the game that, like, you bought it at Black Friday and it came with it, and there's 2 controllers. Might as well. Susie wants to play.
Oh, it's definitely a bundle game.
Susie wants to play game.
It's a game. I like.
Hey, we'll play Sackboy together.
Dude, we'll do it.
We'll
wait for
we'll get the whole family.
Channel, the Let's Play channel.
Sackboy and Friends.
The Semanti-Cast LP.
Does Sackboy have a voice actor?
No.
Oh, we could get.
He's cute.
Oh, he's
he or she.
Sackboy is androgynous and is an LGBT icon, and that's all that matters.
It's Sackboy, so it's a guy.
Never mind.
But then, like, you have your Sackling or whatever that you can customize.
Sackling. Wasn't there a kart racing game?
Yes, there was Little Big Planet karting.
Oh, was it any good?
I remember enjoying it.
I remember I played it once.
It definitely wasn't like Mario Kart.
I played it once, and it just felt like less good Mario Kart. Like, it didn't feel like it did much.
Yeah, kart racer.
And that's the worst, is when, like, a game just tries to be something, and then it's just not as good.
Here's the thing. The one thing I've heard, like, really rivals Mario Kart is Crash Team Racing.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't played it.
Yeah, that was the game we've been talking about trying to do for a while. Yeah.
I want to play it.
It's like $20 on the OG PlayStation, so... Okay.
Anyway, PS5, excited.
How, actually...
I mean, not cautiously optimistic, but I'm optimistic. It's going to be a cool generation.
I might pick one up, maybe. Well,
I'm going to pick one up at some point, depending on how things go. Like, depending on what else comes out this year, it might be like, it's Christmas and my birthday are very close together. So
I am, my honest thing with the start of this generation, and it comes down to basically one thing, and it's how is Halo Infinite going to work? Is it going to be fully cross play? You buy it once and you own it on everything, or is it going to be weird? Like the console versions are going to be weird compared to the PC version. Is my PC going to be able to run the game comfortably? That is what's holding me off from just completely saying I am not buying a PS4 versus I am, or whatever, or I am buying a Series X or whatever. Because I have this odd feeling that Microsoft is going to do some bullshit that's like the Series X version will have this and none of the other versions will. So it's like, oh
yeah. We'll have to wait for Microsoft to play their hand. We haven't. I mean, we had like the third party thing that was garbage.
That sucked. Yeah.
But we haven't really had like the Microsoft themselves. Like, here's Halo and here's Forza,
dude,
and like here's.
I hope you know that
here's like
once Halo Infinite is shown off again, I may be a different person.
Yeah, who knows?
I may completely change. I may praise 343. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows? I may want to die inside, but
true.
It's a scary time.
On this together, we'll be on it together, man.
we can have a therapy session of, oh god, Halo Infinite might suck, and it's like 4 months away. Dear God, help.
Like, we didn't really mention it, but it is E3 season. Like, this is the time. It would be normally, I think, the end of E3 coming up soon.
Yeah, or it usually wraps up by the 12th and 13th.
Yeah. So we've had PlayStation play their hand. We don't know what Nintendo's doing for the rest of the year.
They're doing Origami King.
I mean, we can't talk about Origami King, but
Xenoblade came out, and Origami King and Breath of the Wild 2.
Who knows what's gonna happen for the rest of the year?
Prime 4, Bayonetta 3.
I'm just saying, like, sometime in the upcoming weeks, people are probably going to be playing their hands because they need something for the holiday season.
Actually, you know what? I've been seeing a lot of Xbox promoted ads everywhere. Like, oh, the Series X is a thing and it has sports. Okay.
So you're assuming that something's going to be coming soon?
Well, maybe. I just think since that press conference, Xbox was like, fuck, we got to like pump our money into promoting it. Because I swear, every time I go on Twitter, I see a promoted tweet that's just the Series X, which is like, okay. But the fact that Microsoft can literally show like a frame of a Halo tribute, not even like gameplay or what actually Halo Infinite is, and it makes me either want to die or not, I think is just really scary. And I'm glad that I don't have that with PlayStation.
I don't know if that's a good mental state to be.
Yeah.
Look, man, my life hangs in the balance on whether or not Bandana D's in Smash.
Exactly.
That's all that matters to me.
Oh, I guess Nintendo has that. You know, Fighter Pass.
We do get ARMS soon. We do get the ARMS Smash reveal soon. Yay. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Do you want to talk about Origami King?
No. I have a couple last thoughts about just going into the next gen. What do you think Nintendo's gonna do? Like, do you think they're gonna try to make what are they gonna do?
Be smart and a logical decision. If they don't do this, I will be shocked. I mean, I won't be shocked, but I will be very disappointed. Is because Nintendo has their own unique space right now and an iron grip on it, because they so far and still are seeing the next generation come up.
New Horizons Battle Royale
are the only console handheld hybrid. So the only logical thing to do to keep pumping out money is to make like a new Switch and just make it stronger.
Yeah.
And just upgrade it.
Yeah.
That is the smart decision.
I am baffled it hasn't happened yet.
I could see it happening within the next year or so.
And it depends on how much longer Nintendo wants to stretch out the Switch. Because
I mean, the thing is, I could see them writing it into the foreseeable future. Because PlayStation and Xbox are like, they just keep fighting. They keep going towards like, we're going to get stronger. We're trying to make like the strongest thing and you play it at home. But the Switch can be like, hey, you can do this anywhere.
I mean,
unless you want to play your games on your phone with Xbox.
Diablo's Immortal, baby.
I mean, like, because Xbox is doing Microsoft's doing the thing where it's like
xCloud
kind of like Stadia, yeah. Unless you want to do that, but if you want like a dedicated.
Oh, speaking of Stadia, they're doing like a 3-month free trial.
Don't do it.
No, I did it, and you know what they've done instead? They removed all the good games from Pro, so you have to actually pay for them. But whatever.
Stadia is garbage.
I tried it and there was input lag and I was like, nope. Destiny 2 felt awful. It was not good, but whatever. That's a
Remember
whole...
when people were like, Stadia's gonna kill consoles?
No, I remember you and I were just like, what? No. Like from the second it was a thing. We're like, I mean, I was a little more optimistic, I'll admit. But yeah.
Look, man, we just have to accept that internet is garbage right now.
Dude, my
and
internet
until
has
we
been
get our
whack.
game together, nope.
Yeah, especially in America.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Switch Lite.
South Korea, where internet is great.
I think the Switch Lite was certainly kind of a weird indication. That was like a year ago, by the way, when they announced that thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, the Switch Lite I think was a kind of an indication of what Nintendo sees the Switch as.
God, just keep doing the Switch and Nintendo. It's a money printer,
dude. And that's the thing is, even if like we said,
don't try to play with the big fish.
Like we said earlier, there's no 10 out of 10 game on the Switch, but most of them, they're all great and they're well directed and put together and handled, and mostly. And I think this is the Nintendo Renaissance again, because they've had like
Why
three.
does everything have to suck in the Renaissance?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I've played more indie game. I've played the least amount of Nintendo games in my life for this generation, like in terms of like new ones.
Hey,
and then exciting.
I mean, props to you. You played a Fire Emblem game, a real one.
I did.
That was good. I'm glad you did that.
Thank you.
And honestly, in hindsight, that's still like one of my favorite games on that thing, even though it's kind of dumb.
That like when I think back on it, the games I'm like, these are the best games on the console are remade.
Link's Awakening is perfect.
Xenoblade.
Actually, Link's Awakening is not perfect because its frame rate's kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah, it's Link's Awakening.
True. God, I want to play that right now. Speedrun. Let's go. We'll have a speedrun episode someday.
Dude, totally.
But I think we're running out of steam. I don't know.
Speaking of Steam, Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
No, keep going.
Oh, actually, fuck it. VR. That's something I've been looking into. Oh my god, it's expensive.
Oh yeah, totally.
I wasn't expecting to see like triple zeros, but I did, and I was scared. And I was like,
no. A lot of money.
I was like, all this just to play Batman, the VR game? No.
Here's the thing.
Oh, speaking of, sorry.
VR
Go ahead.
Here's, I guess, maybe, I don't think it's a hot take, but it's a big brain take. VR isn't a game, it's a new medium.
It's like Bernie Stoller saying the Saturn is not our future.
No, I mean, like, it's like the jump from film to game. It's like...
No, I agree.
It's separate.
I certainly agree. I do.
It's not going to replace games, and it's not going to supersede them. It's just going to be separate.
I agree. It's much more
and right
of a
now,
platform.
we're in the early stages where it's like, this is like the Atari stage. And we're just getting some like NES games where it's like, they're smaller experiences. Maybe like one. The biggest game we have right now is Half-Life Alyx.
True. And porn.
And that's, for VR, that's a long, like, full-fledged game.
That's true. That's the what's the fucking Atari game called? Adventure. That's the adventure.
Like, we're finally hitting that point where we're finally having like full VR experiences that aren't just like, oh, fun little puzzle games or like cool interactive movies. Or Beat Saber, the greatest game made since Tetris.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and so speaking of VR, Sony has said that the PSVR will be fully compatible with PS4 or PS5. So
really,
yeah,
that's exciting.
That is exciting, which means they still want to hold on to it because
even if they don't do it,
remember when Microsoft was going to make HoloLens and then it was going to do stuff with Minecraft? Do you remember that?
They had, like,
and they showed the demo and everything, and they had like a dev kit, and they were usable at E3. And then what happened?
They died?
Did that even happen? Did I make this up?
No.
What year was this? 2016? 2017? What happened, Microsoft?
Google bought it out so they could use it for Google Glass.
I want Minecraft on my table like you showed me at E3. Because
I want to stare at my table and motion around it. Family looks at me disappointed.
I want Conquer on my table.
killed Conquer.
I want
feel
Peter
so
Molyneux to serve me a brandy.
I
Okay,
feel bad. I'm
Microsoft.
sad.
Anyways,
We're talking about how they killed good IPs.
dude, bad IP.
Trash IP.
Halo is a trash IP.
Trash
Fuck
IP.
Microsoft and fuck Sony and fuck Nintendo.
Garbage IP.
Sega forever.
Chibi Robo bad.
Chibi Robo bad.
Chibi Robo bad. Rhythm having good. Put it in Smash.
Yeah.
Roddy Man for
Anyways,
Smash.
I do believe it's time to wrap up. I thought of a cool idea to end the show.
Hit it up.
So mini homework assignments. I know that sounds
boy.
like painful, but I was wondering, is there anything that you want me to try to do within the next time between we record? Like gaming related, media related, whatever the fuck? Because my big goal is record / stream / whatever the first couple hours of The Last of Us Part 2 and then upload it and then cry. That's my homework for myself, but I don't know. I was wondering if you had any fun ideas.
Maybe. I think we should, because I remember we talked about having the idea where it's like, I'm assuming, like, let's say, I don't know, let's try to do this once a week.
Yeah.
Like, once a week we find a time we sit down and we just talk about general stuff. Maybe we have a subject to do news.
Yeah.
But I think
current events.
You brought up the idea of having, like, every week it's like, well, what did you play during the week?
Yeah.
And this time we didn't do it a lot. I just mentioned Persona 5 and then we talked about it for a while.
Yeah.
And we were like best girl and then we started PS5.
That's exactly what happened.
Play some games, maybe start a new one.
Oh god.
And come back.
I mean, like, finally going to start Catherine because I bought that. I bought Catherine and I'm like, I'm playing this.
Hell yeah.
I haven't played it.
I'm not saying like beat a game. Like maybe see if you can beat a game you've been playing. Like it's been stuck there for a while.
I don't know if. Let's see. What am I close to finish? I mean, I don't know how long Death Stranding is actually, but I'm nowhere near finishing it.
Don't even try. Don't push yourself.
Oh, I started Uncharted 3 on the Nathan Drake collection.
Yeah, why not play through that?
That game's like 7 hours long. I can't remember.
It's a shooter. It's an action game.
A shoot. Oh yeah, there's tons of
Usually
games.
Those are around 10 hours.
Tons of games. Actually, I'm close to finishing BioShock Infinite on the Nintendo Switch, which it pushed that. I'm telling you, I want a Switch Pro so that my Switch doesn't turn into lava when I play a game that came out on the 360. But whatever.
Yeah. I have a couple I'm close to finishing, so I'm gonna fish them out.
We will report back within a week or two, hopefully.
With an actual title, fully stated.
Yeah. Whatever. It'll objectively be. There will objectively be a title in the next episode. But we have gone on long enough, and I shall end it here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you're watching, again, if you're watching from the future, hello. You should have taken. You should not have broken your friend's iPod that one day. That was a mistake. But with that, thank you very much for watching. And that was objectively correct. Or was it? Whoops, I didn't mean to leave. I meant to hit that.